everyone, and welcome back to Zoodesia! I am Zookeeper Seri, here to give you the rest of our world tour. We are approaching 500 episodes here in the absolutely amazing Zoodesia world, and after 500 episodes we've learned a lot about zookeeping, and so this is the time to reflect and ponder what we have learned, little crab. For example, I've learned that the crabs will skedaddle and head off into all directions if you don't take heed and put a little like fence or something around them. So I really should have done that at some point. Uh-oh. Kelpers! Have you been eating some fishies? Well, kelpers seem to have enjoyed the fish at least. But I've also learned that the huge projects that we take on, if we really focus, can be absolutely amazing, because Dr. Nami's Cove was one of those gigantic projects that I just was like, nah, we're sticking to it until we're done. And we did great, didn't we, kelpers? Here, do you want to give us the tour? Do you want to give us the tour? Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun! Yeah, kelpers is singing. Oh, and I also learned, oh wow, we can swim underwater with kelpers. Oh, I had no idea. Oh, kelpies, you kicked us off. But I also learned just how much fun it is to actually do our community types of events. Like when we did the special event, oh hey Squidward, where all of the community members, you guys would just leave a like on the video, and then I would put a fish in. Then that would be your fish. So now whenever you guys see these little ones swimming around, you can see one you really like, oh hey, I like that one with the orange and blue stripes, and you can be like, that's my fish because I helped out, I left a like. And it was just a great way where with very little effort people could contribute to taking care of the zoo. And we're definitely going to work on more things like that in the future, because it's just so much fun, and it's just so rewarding to be able to come in and see the whole cove filled with fish, and to know it's because of your amazing support. And also we learned a lot, didn't we, kelpers? Like the time that I accidentally called you a marine reptile and everybody like totally lost it. But that was just because I was tired, kelpers. These are the real marine reptiles, our plesiosaurs, and the fish are how you guys helped us have plesiosaur babies. And look at them! Look at the little cuties! That's right, huh? That's right. We still have the wild female chocobo that live on our Mingo Turtle Island too. Totally cracks me up. Look at them. Oh wow. And then of course we have these little trees, which I had never quite introduced to you guys, but these little tree islands are actually donator trees. There's one here and there's one over there, and they are both donator trees. Oops, some of the baby plesiosaurs are getting a lot bigger. They're growing at different rates, that's for sure. That's funny. Some of them may be eating more of the fish than the other siblings. But yeah, these are actually donator trees, and I really like having these in here as little decorations for the cove. So this is a decorative touch that I highly approve of, and we would probably do again for any ocean area, because the open ocean water, that's one of the big things we ran into problems with in this world, is we had too much ocean. It just goes on and on and on and on, and it just never ends, kelpers, which in your world is probably a good thing, but for the rest of us terrestrial sort of creatures, having endless oceans proved to be very difficult in order to make more areas for the zoo. Alright, kelpers, 1 second. I'm going to tour this area. Thank you very much for your help, my friend. Do stay nearby. I could use your help getting back in a little bit. But over here is actually a very old build. This is our little beach build. One of the first things that Caffers and I did together to build the quarry, because Caff wanted to get a big old quarry built, and we even flipped it to try to harvest as much material as absolutely possible for the very beginning of when we were building our places in the world and the International Zoo. And the end result is that we didn't get that much stuff actually. We picked kind of a poor area of ocean. It was very ore and mineral poor. There wasn't really a lot in it. There's still quite a lot of dirt and sand left over at least. And for some reason it didn't sort correctly. Yeah, look at all this stuff. Still quite a bit of seaweed, but I'll never forget how excited I was to try to learn how to make seaweed salad down here. In fact, let's try doing that again. Do I have the materials needed to make seaweed? There we go. To make seaweed salad. Because that was one of the things I did. That's mixed salad, garden soup. Or no, I made kelp soup. That's how I did it. That's why it took me so long. Oh, I remember now. Aw man, that brings back like fond memories. Yeah. Aw, let's make some seaweed soup to eat, because that's something that we did. Well, Calf was running around setting up the quarry, and Caffers was helping him out. Oh, I guess I only have one seaweed. Never mind, I thought this would count, but that's eelgrass and giant kelp. Not the same, not the same. Not at all, but it's so weird, like, handling these old pots and old mixing bowls. It's like going back to your grandma's house or something and being like, I remember when we used to bake pie with these. I remember when we set up the cute little, like, bed system over here and the dogs were outside having a good time, and Lily or Tate, one of the two, got stuck under this crafting table. That was fun. And then this was when I was trying to learn how to make a fisher, and it didn't end well. Totally didn't end well. And that is the little path that we had the tunneling coming through so that we could get the oil over to the over to power the quarry. And then over here, this is the big old giant fence that we just built. You guys were here for that when we built this giant old fence. Well, you were here for that too, the quarry. But when we built this giant net, I should say, not fence, that stretches all the way to the other end of the cove so that it will keep all of our plesiosaurs and fish and dolphins in. In fact, it's keeping several of the dolphins in, but hello, little one! You have eaten something too! My goodness! I'm gonna give this... Nope, nope, I'm gonna give it to your sibling. You're much bigger and this little one needs some food. Hey, buddy! There you go, let me break this seaweed just in case that's causing you problems. Oh, I don't think I can break the seaweed in time. Okay, can't break the seaweed in time. Sorry, buddy. We'll help you out. Here, I'll give you a little push. That should help. And now, since Kelpers has deserted me, I must just cross my fingers that there's no piranha in this water and swim for my life back over to the teleportation stone so we can pop down. Now, the Dr. Nami's Research Center is probably one of my all-time favorite builds we've ever done. And so now we know the kind of style, the elegance, the level of detail on some of the work that we want to build and do. It took me days to do, especially getting rid of all the water inside. I thought I was going to lose my mind. But it was done, and it's amazing. And this is the level of like completion that I want to see. This is the kind of stuff I want to see in here. Hello, Oceanologist Mandy! You know, just all the little fish tanks. This is kind of what I want in our research areas, are a lot of the smaller exhibits. An exhibit entirely dedicated to just piranha or just lanternfish. And of course the little notebooks that will tell somebody about them. And Dr. Nami, your amazing fish analyzation research area is awesome. It was a great way to be able to go and catch fish or get fish and put them in here and then get fish that would not spawn naturally in the world back. And that's just an issue that we've always had here, is that fish have never spawned naturally. It was very weird. But yeah, that kind of research center stuff I definitely want to do more of in the future. That level of quality on the builds too. Ah, so wonderful. So wonderful. And the cherry. Always got to get some fresh cherries. And then right over here we have Persephone and Agent Noodles somewhere. Where are they? I think they're more over here. There they are. So there's Persephone and Agent Noodles. They're still just like relaxing and watching the cove. They are now an official couple, just like Captain Kaz and Major Calhoun. So Captain Kaz and Major Calhoun would probably be very proud. Oh, and actually let's pop up on this side so we can look at the quagga. Oof, fell down there. Here we go. That sounded like a gas out of the blue. That was weird. Hello, everyone. Hello, Siolan. It's been a long time, huh? Yeah, do you want an apple? Whoa! Okay, now I'm riding you. Hey, let's back it up. Okay. Oh, you're not tamed, though. It takes a lot more work to tame these guys. Pretty sure. Oh. Is it a quagga rodeo? Is that what is going on here? It's quagga rodeo time? Come on. Oh, very beautiful. Wonderful. You're quite lovely, you know. Here you go. Have a couple apples. But yeah, and Captain Birch has disappeared, but don't worry, that's just because the NPCs, who have decided they don't like this world, so they constantly are vanishing, will be returning once we move into Season 2. Alright, and yeah, I love the quagga area, but how simple would it have been if we just finally remembered, oh yeah, the quagga need to have a water source, and they need to have a couple acacia trees thrown in. And I just totally forgot. I forget so much. That's like the biggest thing that I'm realizing after 500 episodes, is that I tend to forget so much. So I'm going to try to keep a much tidier to-do list for the future, that is for sure. And then let's see what else we've got over here. We have the prehistoric tar pit tree. Prehistoric tar pit discovered by Sam. This is a tree that was donated to us by Sam, and it has always been one of my favorite ones. Can't remember if he drew a picture. I think he sent in a letter and like described the tree. No, he drew a picture. He did draw a little picture. Oh my gosh. A little plesiosaur head suddenly popped up behind there. That's so cool. That's what I want. I want people to be able to turn around and be like, whoa, that's a creature. Whoa, that's a creature. And just see like constant surprises everywhere they go. And for like there not to be any big empty areas like this. This is a failure of establishment, because if this was a proper zoo, just think about it. Think about it. We could be able to put in like all sorts of cool gift shops and restaurants and attractions and games. I want to think of so many types of games we could put in. More animals too, with the tinier exhibits, like the smaller kiosk exhibits like I keep talking about. I don't know what would fit for this theme though. Maybe like a tiny little compy area? We'll have to think about it. But yeah, I've always loved this tree because it has the really nicely done carpenter's blocks. And you know, I was feeling creative that day, and then you have the dead leaves that you walk over that make noise from the carpenter's pressure plates. So it's just coming up with things like that I really need to put my mind to, so that everybody's trees look absolutely awesome. And speaking of looking absolutely awesome, the Fern Grotto! Probably one of my favorite areas because it is so covered in greenery. So beautiful and covered in greenery. And I painstakingly started to come through here with the carpenter's blocks, but oh my gosh, it takes forever because these are collapsible blocks and you have to get your little hammer and go dunk, 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 dunk to make them start going down. But I love the look of it. I love the vines on it, and I love how you pop through the other side and you're just surrounded on all sides by ferns everywhere. It definitely has that sense of kind of immediately immersing you into a prehistoric world, and that is really what I wanted when people walked through here, so that they were prepared when they got to the other side for the prehistoric pathway. And so we had a good start on this place. I'm very proud of it. I also love that we have the Madagascar palm tree planted by Raptafarian, and Raptafarian himself was back here, and he has since poofed because the NPCs are in a bad habit of not staying in one place anymore. I'm never gonna get a proper raptor. I don't think I've ever gotten the raptor, like, from putting the biofossil down. You are not the raptor. You are a compy, I'm pretty sure. There we go. Nope. What about this one? Nope. What about this one? Nope. Spinosaurus. And this one? Nope. I don't know. I feel so bad. I keep putting down like the wrong guy. That's a compy actually, so maybe I did have the raptor. I keep looking for the claw. That's the Ankylosaurus. That's a compy. That's a Spinosaurus. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna leave that one for now. And then we have the Calican back here. I feel so bad for these guys. From now on, when I do side quests and when we do things like that, instead of going off on adventures, I'm going to really buckle down and go, what animal needs improvements to its exhibit? And we'll go back and check on our animals before we go on big adventures. Because you guys could have used a little more TLC, huh? Yeah, you could have used some. There's a little scritchy on the beak. How's that? You could have used a bigger exhibit. I'm sorry. We'll get you a bigger exhibit in the next one. A little egg! 2 little eggs! Thank you, Lainey! I will go and put them very carefully inside of the egg chamber that we have down inside the staff lounge. Don't worry, all eggs and animals will be coming with us. And then we've got the giant Madagascar palm tree again. Still one of my favorite things. Popping through to the other side, we have where the volcano was going to be. Mara's big volcano. I had so many big ideas for this. That just seems to be the running theme. Seri didn't stick with one thing long enough to finish a project. And, well, if I have to learn one painful lesson, and I've learned many, in 500 episodes, sticking with a project till it's done is definitely high up on the list, because just imagine how epic it would have been to walk through the prehistoric fern pathway and then come through a tunnel made out of like abyssal stone, so it's like volcanic stone and it has lava running under and over it that you walk under and through and like pops out the other side. Could have pulled into this comet that fell. Very cool comet. But that would have been so fun to walk through that and then pop out and go, Wow! For the beauty that is this tropical section of the prehistoric pathway. I mean, look at all these. Remember when we voted on the fruit? For those of you guys who don't know, we had a special side quest where we had everybody poll like what their favorite fruit among the fruit we had available was. Mangoes were the most popular. They hands down won the highest vote. So mangoes are the very top fruit on the very top of the tree. We grew this huge jungle tree, and so what we did is we had everyone vote on their favorite fruits, and mango won. And actually Darling taught me that mango is like the most popular fruit in the world, so it seems appropriate that it ended up on top of there, followed by bananas, oranges, and then star fruit beat out coconut, lemons, and limes, which really surprised me because star fruit's not very well known, but the people who do know about it are like star fruit fanatics. They love star fruit, so that was really fun. Speaking of star fruit, here's a bunch down here. And then when we collected all the plants, do you guys remember when we did the plant rescue mission? When Kath and Lubot were just completely flattening like the entire area around their base and just getting rid of, like, that was, at the time, that was the only rainforest that we knew of on the server. So they were getting rid of the only source of these plants that we knew of. And in this version of PMP, when you destroy these plants, you only get one back. And future versions of PMP, like current ones, because 1.6.4's PMP, Plant Mega Pack, is no longer supported, but in 1.7 and 1.8, when you break them, you have a chance of getting more than one plant back. Not so here. So this represents like the only specimens that would have been available at the time in the entire world of these plants, which is why we went and rescued them. And of course, this is where we learned the amazing magic that is the glory of the moonworms. So we have plenty of our little moonworms everywhere. Our awesome dig site, which I still totally love. In retrospect, I should have used carpenter's blocks. I feel so silly that we didn't use carpenter's blocks, but you guys helped out a lot with this dig site, suggesting like putting a backdrop against the back of it. Hey Max, don't worry, your dad will be back soon. I'll do my best. Yeah, there's like a drop that goes down behind here. It's just awesome. I love it. I love that you can rifle through here. I always meant to come back in and do a lot more detail work, leaving a whole bunch more details of like bones and fragments of things. I just noticed the little flies. It has been so long since I've noticed the little flies on... In fact, you know what? This is going to sound bad, but I don't think I've ever noticed the tiny little flies that are on these plants. Isn't that bad? For all the time that we've had these plants, I've just never seen them before. But yeah, like these, like the stone shovels and the cobblestone. We could have broken up things and renamed them to be like bits of stone and put them in all of the chests, because people are going to rifle through the chest when they come and visit the zoo. And when they come, I want them to be able to rifle through them and go, oh yeah, like I remember, like, or like, look at this, there's like this detail, look at this, they've got like these kinds of bits and pieces. I want them to feel immersed in the area, like they're really taking part of what's here. And that includes putting details in the chest and renaming items so that they really help people widen their imagination in what's available. And then of course we have our Tropicraft treasures that we gathered up. Check that out, including the buckets of tropic water, which will turn into bamboo bundles if you pour it. It's kind of a hilarious item ID glitch. We've got our amazing prolific coconut palm tree planted by Captain Birch. We also have our wonderful little tiki stand with some absolutely delicious drinks behind it that we can partake of. I love the tiki stand. The tiki stand is probably one of my all-time favorite pieces of the builds that we did. But the dodo sanctuary, I would say the dodo sanctuary out of anywhere else in the zoo is probably the most complete area of the entire zoo. I really would say that the dodo sanctuary hands down wins. Yep, I'm pretty happy about this. Yeah, look at this. Ah, look at the dodos! See, they've had plenty of food. They have a living exhibit where we have to come in and do a little bit of maintenance, which they have a random bunny who has somehow managed to infiltrate the dodo exhibit. They've got crabs to eat. They've got bugs to eat. They've got lots of things to explore. They've got little waterfalls, beautiful trees. The dodo exhibit, they've got like the statue. The dodo exhibit to me is like the cream of the crop of what we have made in Zoodesia. It represents everything I hope we can do in the new season. I hope we can like blend together the exhibit that's interactive. People can come in, they can be like, oh my gosh, I found dodo eggs, that's amazing. They'll see little details on the ground, like bits of gravel pile. The gravel is meant for the dodos to eat to help them digest things in their gizzard. They'll see things like dodo fruit trees from the dodo fruit from the tree known as the dodo fruit tree back on their island. They will see things like that they can help out, that visitors, guests can come and help out by getting a pair of shears. We would put like a chest that would have shears in it, and they could come and help to kind of prune back some of the vines and some of the overgrown bamboo and pieces of those things. You know, they would see the sand, they would see the crabs. They would get a good sense not only of seeing the dodos and learning about them, but being immersed in the dodo's world and knowing what it would have been like to be a dodo to the best of our abilities, to the best that we can try to represent that. And that's what I really want to do. That's why I want to include so many different things in the world. That's why I want to do like things where people can work in the exhibit, where they can see what kind of food the people who live in the areas the animals are native to would have eaten, where they can help take care of the animals, just to feel like they're part of their world. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm so proud of you little dodos. I'm so proud. They're like, quack! But alright guys, that's kind of it, almost. Man, this is still, I love the little nursery we built too. The little dodo nursery for no drowning dodo babies. That's about it for what's over here, other than the little pineapples. I remember when we planted those pineapples. Other than the fact that we've got this awesome little pier that we built, and it has some donated trees. We've got the Ray Cove donated by Nick, and with all the glitches and things that have happened, the rays, as you can see, have started to vanish. Very frustrating, but I'm not so worried about that for season 2, because we're solving a lot of problems. And then over here we've also got the little Shark Cove. The shark overview tree that was planted by Will with the little red bird in it named Will. And the shark has actually vanished too, because like I've been telling you guys recently, I've been hiding just how broken the server has been for a long time now, but it's been pretty darn broken. All the NPCs and the animals and everything have been vanishing. There's sections of the server you can't go into or else it'll corrupt and crash the world. The coconut tree planted by Mr. Bites, who also had the Shark Cove built. He also had something to do with the Shark Cove. And we had Manuel, I believe his name was, over here, our NPC. And his little ship. Goodness, like we had so many little details that in the future I'll look at them and be like, we need to connect these. I need to make it easier for people to get over here with a nice path. I need to fill up this thing with more animals. Like I would have moved the dolphins over here maybe. And then you could go scuba diving with the dolphins. Or clam diving. Diving for the clams that I was going to put in on the bottom. That would have pearls and treasure chests down there. Imagine swimming on the back of the dolphins to do that. So, it's amazing. We've done so much and there still are so many more ideas to dig through and explore and adventure. But, we'll do that. We'll do that. Alright, so we will continue our world tour bright and early tomorrow morning on our big Saturday special. There we go. But yeah, it'll be our Saturday special tomorrow, so we're going to continue on with just like a whole world tour, visiting the Village of Light and several of the other villages in the world, visiting some of the other key locations, and eventually we will wind back over here and go to Sunflower's Tree and visit with our family before we prepare to launch on our huge, absolutely awesome new expedition to Season 2. So I will see you guys then. Bye-bye!